Hey everyone, it's Chrissy from Everyday Survival Gear, and today we're going to do a different sort of a review. I brought one of these cheaper USB soldering irons, and I want to see how it performs. I've had it out once, and it was okay, I can tell you straight off the bat. It's more powerful than it seems. Like, you think 6 watts isn't much, because it really isn't much in terms of soldering irons. But because the tip is so small and so thin, it's easy to get that heat in there. So it's pretty fast to heat up and it's pretty fast to cool down, which is, I guess, a plus. We're in my shed now, which is pretty much the reason why I brought this, was because there's no power in the shed. I don't know you guys overseas, but in Australia, our sheds don't have power. It's just like a metal structure. So we can see here, fully functioning USB powered soldering iron, small and compact, rapid heat up and instant recovery. Tip can be replaced easily. Combination of heating element and soldering tip. On the back, heating up less than 15 seconds, cooling down less than 30 seconds. Long life tip with a protective cap. USB input 5 volts, power 8 watts. Long life tip. Actually, on the on the eBay listing, it actually says it's 6 watts, not 8 watts like what the box says. So we'll take it out. Last time I used it, I'm not sure if it was me or the soldering iron what was doing something wrong, but there is one more that I would definitely like to do to this, and that's kind of always keep it on once it's plugged in. Camera looks kind of foggy, right? Oh, just that was in the way. Sorry about that, guys, if it looks a little bit foggy there for a minute. So no instructions as such anywhere. It does have this little bit here, nothing much. So on the internet, everyone was having trouble taking off the cap. I don't know, I just pull mine off and it comes off. I don't know if my cap's different or whatnot. So this is it. You can see it's fairly small. Out here now, I actually got a cheapo soldering iron that I brought from Aldi for like $10-12 or something. It's only 30 watt, it's not adjustable, but because sometimes we do get water splashing inside here, I wanted to check it out. So basically, we'll try it first with this little power bank. So this little power bank's good because it's always on, so that's why I wanted it to plug into this one, because it's always on. So you can see just by plugging this in, it's already on. But of course there's only one 18650 in there, so it doesn't have the most power in total. And it says it only puts out 1 amp. So the iron won't get quite as hot with that one. Set it up. Bloody hole. So you're like an AUX style cord there. So we got this on still, so we'll plug it in. So now it's in. You can see it's drawing no amps, so it's got like a capacitance touch. When I touch this, it should turn on, and you can see my one is actually not drawing any amps for some reason. So let me just shake it. See, that's what I mean. I think my one was having an issue, because when I was using it, like, it was okay, but it wasn't that great. I'll just wet my finger, see if that helps. Nope, not reading it at all. Now it's drawing amps, 1.24 amps. So it just took a little bit of tapping on here to get it to work. I might take my one apart and check out what's going on inside. Alright, so from this battery bank we're drawing 1.24 amps at 4.3 volts. So it's overdrawing the amperage what this power bank is meant to give. I'm going to take it out of this power bank and plug it into the ROMOS and see how it does. Out you come. So we'll plug it into the big one. We'll check out that it's on. We'll turn it on actually. what is it? It's at 90%. That's upside down now. So my capacitance touching doesn't seem to be working too well. So yeah, pretty much 5 volts, 1.4 amps or so. That pretty much puts it somewhere around about the 7 watts, which isn't too bad. It actually stays pretty true to what it's supposed to be at. Let me just grab some solder. And you can see my one's already turned off now. So even if I was to hold it and I push this down, it doesn't actually turn it back on. Alright, so when it is on, you can see that it's got the red light there. So we'll give it 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's counted a little bit too fast, but that's because like it's already had its chance. So far it's melting the solder. You can see creating a little bit of smoke there. We'll work at it and see how it does. Let me grab something to work on. I don't really need any more spring bypasses done on my light, so I had to bring out a different light which doesn't really need it, I guess. It's actually staying on this time, which is really good. So anyone that does working with electronics knows solder wick is actually pretty hard stuff to heat up. It actually draws away all the heat. So if this can actually work with the solder wick, I'll be very surprised. So we'll try it and we'll see how it does. So you can't see there actually, but the solder wick is in place. Okay, so is it still on? Nope. Sorry guys, that was my bad. Just touched the solder by accident. Goof. One thing that's good about this is that it's very light and nimble. So we'll push this all the way down and we'll put some solder in there. I can't see it, like you guys can't see it. You can actually see how much heat we put in to that spring because it's changed color. So you can see a lot of heat actually went into that spring. I have to move it closer to me because the camera is right in front of me and I can't see nothing. So it's already stopped working, and even though I got my finger on the trigger as such, so yeah, it's already stopped working. Even though I got my finger for it to work, it's not really working. So if this actually draws, it was just drawing 1.5 amps, so that's actually 7.5 watts, which is actually pretty good. Like, that is connected, but I know it looks mad dodgy, but it is actually working. I could have put it down the bottom, but it just doesn't want to stay on right now. Take my one apart, I think, and check it out, see what's going on. If we can kind of like bypass it. So of course the wick, the solder wick, is taking out all the heat, and plus because I'm not moving it up and down, I'm leaving it in place. It doesn't want to stay on, which is a little bit of a pain, but maybe if I pull mine apart I can kind of find out what's going on with it. So if we look inside, you can see it's melted it. This isn't the world's best spring bypass job, but if it stays in place, and like it did, work reasonably well, also considering its size. So that's pretty dodgy, but yeah, if you can move it up and down and get it to stay on, I think it works much better. So if we have a look inside there now, focus. Hocus pocus focus. Let's try and pull out that spring bypass. No, it's not moving. It's going to stay in place no matter what. So it's strong enough to stay in place. Although I should have connected it to the very bottom one, it's a bit hard to get in there. Or I could have just gone straight through the middle down to the bottom, which would have been smarter. Oh well. Alright lads, so I just had a tripod malfunction, so we'll get back to this. So turn on please. So we'll get this crank back up again because it's been off now for a few minutes. So now that it's back on, so you can see drawing 1.44 amps, so that would make it about it's pretty much 5 volts, so almost 7.5 watts, somewhere 7.4 or something, I think. You can see since it's been working, it's drawn 247 milliamp hours, so not too bad. We'll take that back out of the way. So over here I've got a we'll try and keep this on because my touch bit is not working at all. So over here we've got a board that was used in a what's called in a for a laptop power pack, and I took the batteries out, so we got a balance board, I guess, balance charging board. You can see the ICs here and whatnot. We'll tackle one of these bigger solder points. So you can see right now it's not even on, but it's now on again. So it's a shame that my button doesn't work. I'm gonna try and bypass it because this thing isn't actually too bad. So we'll take out this big chunky beefy wire. You can see it fall straight up, so that's pretty good. We should be able to just pull that through, and that by no means is like, I know I'm burning it because I don't have my tweezers here, but that by no means is a small gauge solder joint. That's fairly beefy. So what are we looking at here? We'll tackle this one next. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Keep it going. I've only got 2 hands. And it just turned off. And there we go. So that's pretty cool because that was by no means an easy task to accomplish. You can see I got a bit of plastic burnt on my one when I was just trying to move the wire off. Yeah, so this is the wire that we took out. You can see it's pretty thick. Alright guys, this is probably my worst review that I've ever done, but yeah, so like overall, you know, like $6-7, it isn't too bad. Like it's not gonna desolder the world's biggest joints, but it's light, small and compact. My only qualm is that my one doesn't stay on. I can actually pull this apart, but I don't know how long the video has been going for. So that's the review part done, but we'll pull my one apart if you want to keep on watching, and we'll see how it goes. Look at how much power it's drawing now. You guys can't see. 1.46 amps at 4.97 volts for a minute. That's pretty big power. I'm gonna unplug it and we'll pull it apart. Turn everything off. We'll let the head cool down for a minute. Alright lads, so I've done that off camera because this back bolt screw here, sorry, is threaded. Look at it. Not threaded as such, but the head's kind of pretty thrashed on it. So that's a bit strange. I had to use a bigger size just to get it out. See, now the Phillips head one is working, but before it wasn't. So I knew I had the right size, it just wasn't working. Oh well. Alright, so now we're inside. I should probably discharge the capacitor before I touch anything. That's definitely a plus. So you can see you got like some sort of IC controller, which will probably be a switch to turn it on and off. This will be a MOSFET. That's just the LED and a capacitor. Fairly simple with a few resistors in series and in line. I'm not sure what that small one is because I'm not the best with this sort of stuff. But yeah, and here we got the spring, which is supposed to send the signal down. Now my spring's pretty dirty. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but yeah. So pretty simple and easy in design. I would like to do something with this here. Maybe I can bridge from here to here and get it to always stay on, which would probably be better than it turning on and then off, because I'd rather have it constantly on. But yeah, I have to read through. I can't actually see myself, guys. This looks like a Zener diode, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Could be some sort of crystal too. Alright, that's pretty much done. If I figure something out, I guess I can always put it online or something. If I figure how to mod this, so I can always get it to stay on. Alright guys, a little bit different video, a little bit slower pace and whatnot, but pretty cool item. All in all, I think for the money, you know, it's worth it. My one has a few little issues where it doesn't want to stay on, but that could be because of many reasons, I guess. So yeah, not too bad overall. And as always guys, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.